Never in a million years did I ever think that I was going to be making this video. Never. So, I'm here to talk about something that's actually very common in our generation, and not only in our generation, in previous generations, and a lot of people that we don't talk about. And that's abandonment wounds. Abandonment wounds, neglect wounds, abandonment wounds, you know. And it doesn't even come down to neglecting yourself or abandoning yourself. But I kind of just want to, talk to you guys about an abandonment wound and inform you about it. So an abandonment wound is basically a wound that you either get in childhood as a child. It's when somebody abandons you, neglects you, and it causes you to have to basically raise yourself. It causes you to have to, be your own parent pretty much, because nobody was there to take care of you. All they did was neglect you and abandon you. So who did you truly have? You couldn't trust other people. So you had to raise yourself, take care of yourself, be hyper independent. And so I have been abandoned. I was neglected as a child and I was abandoned. Wounds can also come as an adult if you get into a super, super toxic relationship. And that partner of yours abandons you. That's also an abandonment wound. You can get a severe abandonment wound. So abandonment wounds are, sorry if this is all over the place, but I just wanted to inform you guys the facts. So abandonment wound is actually a very, very, very deep-rooted wound. Probably it literally affects the rest of your life. It literally affects your entire life. Because when you've been abandoned and you have a severe abandonment wound, you find it hard to trust people. You become super hyper independent, hyper vigilant. You have a hard time trusting others. You push people away. Let's not forget that people with abandonment wounds tend to push people away because as a form of protection, because they fear rejection. And this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. People with abandonment wounds, a lot of people don't talk about it. Because they don't think about, why do I push that person away? Or why do I push that person away? Or this person or that person? Why do I push every person out of my life? It's because this is a form of protection. This is literally a form of protection for people who have been neglected and abandoned. We tend to push people away in fear of being rejected. So before people push you away first, or in your head, you think before they abandon me first, I am going to abandon them. I am going to reject them. And this is something that we do as a form of protection, but we don't realize that we're doing it half the time. And so I was severely neglected as a child. I was severely abandoned by both my parent figures. So it caused me to be hyper independent, hyper vigilant. And also people who have been abandoned or with an abandonment wound, they have a hard time asking people for help. They never do it. It's so hard for them to ask people for help because they've been trained in their brain that they literally cannot trust anybody. They cannot trust anybody for anything, because as a child or even as an adult, that person that they trusted abandoned them. That person that they trusted neglected them. So in terms, that causes us, or people with an abandonment wound to not have trust in others. It's very hard for us to trust other people. It's very hard for us to, find trustworthy people. Another thing, people with abandonment wounds tend to attract emotionally unavailable people. Why? Because emotionally unavailable people reflect their character traits because they tend to be hyper independent. They tend to be hyper vigilant, just like them. They tend to, be a little bit selfish. And I'm not here to judge, but I'm here to tell you that people with abandonment wounds, they are selfish. They are selfish, but not in the way that you may think, not in a bad way. They're selfish in the way where they tend to protect themselves. Because as a child or even as an adult, when they got abandoned, they realized that they literally could not trust anybody but themselves. So think about it. They can't trust anybody else but themselves. So they put themselves first. They trust themselves over anybody. So if a person with a wound like that, they tend to abandon people first as a form of protection. Sorry guys, my ring light keeps falling. Oh, okay. As a form of protection. And so because it's a form of protection, we abandon people before they abandon us. But here's the thing, guys. I'm just gonna, we're already 5 minutes into the video. Toodles to whoever stayed and watched this. I just want to say, this needs to change. All right? If you have an abandonment wound, this needs to change. Because your life, if you don't heal this wound, let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to have a very hard life. And I'm here telling you from experience. I'm here telling you from somebody who has done years of therapy to try to heal this wound. I am here to tell you that it's time for you to heal this, because this is not something that you should be doing. This is not normal, guys. And a lot of people who have been abandoned and have abandonment wounds, they think it's so normal. This is a lifestyle, because this is all we know. You know, this is just our, like, this is what's in our subconscious mind. We don't know any better. But I'm here to tell you that you need to heal this wound. You can't keep pushing people away. If you haven't heard this, you cannot keep pushing people away. Stop pushing people away. This is not good for you. It's not healthy. And you might think it is because, oh, I can trust myself. I don't need to trust people. Who's there to trust? There's nobody else that I can trust. This is not healthy when it comes to terms of basically making new connections, making new friendships, and especially in relationships. You cannot have a good, healthy relationship until you heal your abandonment wound. You cannot have, because you know what? You're going to continuously basically find any reason in your relationship to not trust your partner. You're going to find any reason to think that they're going to abandon you and just run out of there. Just run out of that relationship as soon as you can. Or even at friendship, guys. This happens in friendships. You push friends away, friends that truly care about you and love you. You push them away because you have a fear of rejection subconsciously. So you push them away. You say, all right, I got a fear of rejection. Bye-bye, toodles. I don't need you. But that's not a healthy way of thinking, guys. This is not how you develop healthy relationships or even healthy friendships. So I'm here to tell you, if you're watching me today, heal that abandonment wound. Heal that wound inside of you. Heal it. And go to therapy. Do shadow work. Find out why. Ask yourself, why do I reject people before they reject me? Why do I push people away? Why do I have a hard time trusting others? Why can't I ask people for help? Even the littlest things, like asking somebody else for help, is so hard for somebody with an abandonment wound to do. It's so hard. We can't do it. But this is something that needs to change. And I want to be the face of this. I want to be the person to tell you that it's time to change. It's time to heal this wound and, get rid of it. And I know you can't physically, mentally get rid of it because it's something that is, it's a wound. It's stuck inside of us. But you can slowly heal it. You can slowly make that wound better. You can slowly start to trust people again. You can slowly start to give your heart to others and be vulnerable. People who have been abandoned have such a fear of being vulnerable, but this is not good for you. You need to be vulnerable in order to, establish healthy connections, healthy relationships, healthy friendships. So I just wanted to make this video to say that to anybody who needed to hear this today. I know what it's like. I've been there. I have felt the pain of being abandoned and rejected, neglected, but it's a wound that needs to be healed in order to form healthy connections and healthy friendships. I just wanted to say that, and I love you. If you ever need anything, feel free to message me. Bye.